All right. Hey, folks. Sorry, we're actually changing the name of the podcast last minute due to some copyright issues that we were not aware of. There's another man out there with the same name. We spelled it different, but out of respect for him, we're going to go ahead and change the name of our podcast to...
Fuck him!
That's not the name, but it's going to be Jabber now, the Jabber. So that's just what it's going to be from now on. We're going to keep the intro for our first episode, though, but just be aware that it's the Jabber from now on. Thanks, and we're sorry about the mix-up. All right, this is episode 1 of Random, the podcast where we take different topics we find interesting and discuss them in a laid-back manner.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's start off with our names. My name is Nathen. Last name's Dio. Nathen Dio, that's the whole name.
Yeah, you could have just said your full
But
name.
I fucked up.
I'm Jeremy Marquez, your co-host.
Well, I'm Victor Cajas. I don't know if that makes me co-host or what it makes me.
You're just a fancy guest, I would say.
guest.
Like, wait list.
I'm sorry.
What'd you do?
He dropped it all over the carpet.
I only spilled the foam. It's fine.
He only dropped his water.
I only spilled the
Yeah,
foam.
he dropped his water all over the carpet. That's fine. But yeah, like Jeremy said, this podcast is pretty much
Oh, are we still rolling? Okay.
yeah, it's just
Just keep it going.
Yeah.
it's just a podcast where we just talk about different stuff. Me and Jeremy are gonna be the co-hosts, so we're just gonna pretty much pick up a topic and we're
And
gonna
Victor
talk
is
about...
our special guest.
We already talked about that, and he got close to the mic, weirdo. But yeah, pretty much gonna pick up a bunch of different topics and just talk about them.
Yeah, we
and
said that.
yeah, so okay, so the
Episode
first
1.
episode 1
Designer
will be on
babies.
Designer babies. Yeah. So what do you guys know about it so far?
Well, first, for those of you who don't know,
The topic.
yeah, this is the concept that you'll be able to choose the genes that you want your kid to have, and like, oh, I want him to be tall. I want him to have one eye blue and the other one green. Stuff like that. And is that ethical or not? What's our opinion on that?
I always saw it like this. Like, it's like, you guys have been to Subway, right? So you walk in. I
Your
would say the
baby's not
doctor's
a fucking
office.
sandwich.
I say the doctor's office is like Subway. You walk in, right? And what happens in the first thing? Oh, what type of bread do you like? AKA,
Black.
what type of kid do you want? Right? So you pick out the skin color, white, whatever your preference
Whoa,
is.
why white, huh?
Well, I mean, whatever it is. Like, there's white, black, there's,
Brown.
Asian, brown. I'm Indian.
Asian is
so
not a
I'm
skin color.
Indian. Well, right. But yeah, I'd pick brown because I'm Indian, right? And then what happens? What type of meat do you want? So I would say, what kind of gender?
What kind
Female
of
or
meat?
male? Well, there's, right? I'd want a male because
What about
bull.
our
You
non-binary
want
friends out
pastrami
there?
or sausage?
What? Yeah, no, because you get me like, oh, if you want meat, how much you want of it? You get what I'm saying?
You want
So
3 inches or 12?
that's what I'm. Okay, hold on. I'm talking about your mother's sex life.
Fuck you.
We're not talking about if it's a boy or a girl.
Well, yeah, no, but like once
I'd say that's more like toasted or untoasted.
right? No, because that's okay. Yeah, fine, but you have to pick the meat before you toast it.
I'd say
Can't just toast the
if
bread.
anything, the bread and meat are both raised because there's a bunch of different meats and different breads.
Right. Okay. I'm more of a turkey guy.
I'm more of a Black Forest ham myself.
I go with Black Forest.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Superior race Black Forest ham.
I mean, turkey's fine. But yeah, I think after you pick your meat, then it goes to the cheeses.
No.
Yeah, it does. Because-
Sometimes I say toast first, then cheese, depending on my mood.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry.
Sometimes
Okay. So you guys are better
sometimes you want the
sandwich
cheese
makers?
melted on that ham.
Well,
Or
okay.
sometimes you just want a cold sandwich. Just all
Put 'em in.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Back
Fine.
back
You lead it.
to children.
back to kids. No
Not-
more sandwiches.
not-
No,
Subway.
but here's what I'm saying though. It's like for the for people that don't understand what designer babies
I
are,
think they
it's
got
creating
it
your
by this point.
perfect sandwich.
Choosing what genes are going to be expressed. in
Yeah,
the child.
lettuce, tomatoes, eye color.
Yeah. My
Uh,
favorite trait in a kid. Lettuce
Yeah, your
and
favorite
tomato.
trait.
How short?
Yeah.
How intelligent?
Okay.
Yeah, okay, that's like so
I
that's
don't
like
think so.
No. That's gonna be like we're talking in this case like best case
Well,
scenario. You can decide
there's
everything.
basic traits you can choose now even.
We should stop talking of each other as much. By the way, just like because otherwise the audio blends together.
Oh.
Now we don't want to talk.
Okay, but yeah, what Victor's saying is we're talking like best case scenario. You get
Well,
to
right
choose
now
everything.
there's basic traits, but I know that there's also like certain genes that they have discovered in smarter people that get expressed more, like larger brains or more function of the brain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like there's more athletic people.
So it's kind of like picking your toy. Like,
Excuse me?
when babies pick
You don't
their
get
toy.
to pick the toy at McDonald's.
It'd be like choosing what color. It's like the Nike ID, when you choose what color goes where.
Okay.
It's like that. It's not picking your toy.
The first big question, is this ethical? Fuck it.
Is that really your opinion?
I'd say...
I like how he backtracks. Fuck it. Is that really your opinion? Starts going back.
I would say that when it comes to making it like, hey, my kid's not going to have Down syndrome, or, or he's not going to have like some like bone destruction disease, I would say, yeah, make it so that they don't have that. But when it comes to like,
there's actually some diseases where, check this out, I didn't even know about this. You should look it up.
How'd you know about it right now?
Huh?
Nothing, keep going.
Oh, it's really odd. It's when, instead of, like normal muscle healing, like when you tear a muscle or work out, bone is formed. So they end up with these really weird skeletons when they die. And at one point they can't bend much because their whole body's like...
So they're like marionettes. They're like...
Oh, well, kind of, yeah. To the point where they no longer... The muscle gets infused with bone.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, exactly.
So, like, the turkey got into the cheese.
The bristle. The gristle, whoops. Not bristle.
I don't know what gristle is.
Gristle is like that of the meat.
So, like, you know, in terms of sandwiches, the turkey got all mixed up in the cheese, and you can't eat the sandwich.
They fucked up the order.
They put pickles and you didn't ask for pickles.
I had a bad experience at Subway. That's why I'm talking about it.
But do you guys think that...
Is it ethical?
No, well, right now, just like talking about like preventing disease. And,
I think for sure
you
should be able to prevent stuff like that that's something that would otherwise make a not healthy person.
Okay. So do you agree... okay, now moving on. Where do we draw the line?
Of healthy?
Do you think dwarfism is a disease? I wouldn't call it a disease, but I would call it not I would call it abnormal. And no offense to any dwarf listeners, if we have any listeners at all. But it's just it's abnormal, and I think that most people could agree that given the choice between a normal sized child or a child afflicted with dwarfism, you'd want the normal sized one.
Well, I think it should be preference.
Why would you want?
Well, I mean, no, but for, like, you know, if you do have dwarfism, I mean, we saw a video on this. A lot of people take pride in dwarfism, and I think if this is a real thing with designer babies, I think it should be a preference. Like, if the doctor will tell you, or like he can ask you.
Not to offend dwarf people again, but I feel like the reason. Okay.
They want belonging.
Exactly. No. Okay. So then
is this Twilight?
Put it this way: there's white people and there's brown people.
Oh
right?
wow. Okay.
Wait. No, there's like a very black and white example.
Wow.
Some people are born brown. Some people are born white. There are some people who are, well, everybody should be proud of what they are, right? Nobody should feel like they're less or not good. So I think that's the reason dwarf people are proud. Not necessarily because...
A lot of them hate it, though.
I hate myself.
Very few, though.
No. You ever seen Little People, Big World?
No, I haven't.
On TLC.
No, I've never seen Little
People. It's like a bunch of redneck.
No, well, yeah. It's like
redneck dwarfs.
It's like a
The
family.
Learning Channel?
And yeah.
Nothing?
No. It's like a family of dwarfs who run a farm. Except they
have...
No. And like they use the tractors and everything.
You're stupid. That's Snow White.
It literally is.
That's Snow White. What the? You got nosy.
If it was Northeast country and they were mining.
But it's like a wife and a husband. They're both dwarves and they like run around the farm and shit. But they.
You just see them. Hey, I'm gonna go lace the cows. You just see them jumping with the rope. Come down here.
I imagine not to offend. I imagine the oompa loompa.
That's fucked up, bro. We don't even have any listeners.
As they run around.
No, but they have a family of dwarves, right? Except only one of their kids out of 3 has dwarfism, and then the other 2 are normal sized. Yeah,
well,
and
he hates himself.
Yeah, he's like 6 feet tall, and then he's like down there like 2.5 feet. He's like, fuck, Jeremy's so much taller. The older guy's named Jeremy. He's like, fuck Jeremy, he's so much taller. I'll never find love. And then he straight up disses his girlfriend. He's at like a dwarfism convention.
Wait, he has a girlfriend. He says he'll never find a girlfriend.
No. He has a dwarf girlfriend.
I think he's a little stupid.
He wants a tall girlfriend though.
I'll never find love.
He likes them big.
He has a
but
dwarf
but he's like,
girlfriend.
you'll never find them big.
Yeah,
So
but
he has a small.
he shits on his girlfriend. He's like, I can't believe I'm saddled with her. I'll never have like a real girlfriend. And I'm like, dude, why are you fucking on her? Like,
They got midget porn, so like,
Oh.
it's not like some people aren't into that.
Bro, you're trying to
Probably
make this
that's
podcast
probably-
illegal? I think that's illegal.
I mean, if anything,
It's not.
the midget porn.
Bridget
is-
the midget.
Why do you know that?
No, I mean that's just it rhymes, right?
Yeah.
I would
Like
like,
Tony
our
the Tiger.
I would like our
alliteration,
listeners to
Bridget
go
the
and,
Tony
and,
the Tiger
and look
doesn't
up Bridget
rhyme.
the midget
Huh?
when you get a chance.
Tony the Tiger doesn't
But it
rhyme.
has the alliteration, like with the T's.
Alliteration.
I think
Bridget the
that's-
midget, right? Like the whole, like you can create stuff that rhymes.
I think that's-
Bony Tony,
Okay,
right?
that rhymes.
That sounds like a
For
porn star.
A fucking
But I just
guy
made
with
that
the
up.
bones muscle
Yeah,
disease?
Bridget the
It'd be
midget.
amazing if those were two porn names.
Please look up.
Tony is lonely.
Please look up Bridget the midget when you're done with this episode.
No, please don't, because I don't want my listeners to look at that. But if
Oh,
you're
so you
into
admit
that,
it's a real thing?
well, I could. No, I think. Oh, I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Are you
porn
looking it
star
up
names.
right now?
Okay, wait. We're getting
Oh,
off
no.
topic, like big time. All right. So okay, wait.
Okay. Going back
To the idea if it's ethical.
I say for preventing diseases and dwarfism.
Oh no.
For preventing abnormalities that would afflict the quality of life in your child, definitely.
Well, I mean, but I think dwarfism is completely different because some people don't think it changes their quality of life.
Oh, it does though.
What if
Well,
some people say that
You can't
that-
drive a car.
What if some people
Well,
say?
I mean,
Yeah, they can.
yeah, they can.
Well, they have like a big old booster seats. That's money.
Well, then they can
Then buy
drive
a
cars.
booster seat.
That's money.
Bro, you have flat feet. You bought Dr. Scholl's.
Yeah, but
It's a
they need
one-time
like
thing.
they need giant extensions to reach the pedals, and like it's like a crank system. It's whack.
Like
It's
robots?
wild. Like I respect them, but still.
Have you ever seen Real
It's
Steel?
difficult, but they can drive.
No, but see, everything
like
is
they
more
can't
difficult
drive.
for them.
Well, I
A
mean,
regular countertop, say goodbye.
bro,
You need
we're
a
in
stool.
okay, but we're in the age of like Uber. Just
Okay.
get in the backseat and let someone else drive for you. But I'm
That's
just
not
saying
always
that quality of
Going
life
back
is
to
preference.
quality of life, though, if we are saying quality of life, some people could say, "Well, I want my child to be of a lighter skin color because white people might have it easier."
Yeah. I mean, and that's where the gray area comes in. It's like, should you be able to decide?
I want my
that
child to have
minutia?
white privilege.
I want my child to struggle. Make
Or
him
on the
dark.
other hand, I want my child to have to work, make them brown, and make them suffer a little bit.
For the record, we are all brown. I don't know if that counts for anything, but
What do
just
you
putting
mean?
that out
I'm
there.
straight
You're a
up-
light beige.
I'm not beige. I'm dark.
He's like
as fuck.
Hershey milk chocolate. I got the almonds in me.
Bro, you're not darker than me.
Yeah, he is.
Are you?
Yes, he is.
Oh, really?
Just a little bit.
I'm darker than all of you.
Should you be able to decide minor things like eye color or hair type? I would say.
I said
No.
I would say also no.
Yeah, because I think
Also, you mean
I would also say.
because the problem is that once you start with that,
where does
it's gonna be really hard to draw a line.
slippery slope?
Yeah, it's gonna be a very slippery slope. Because then it could be like, oh, what's your eye color? Oh, yeah, I'll have it brown.
Purple.
Okay, yeah, because there's gonna be
I
weirdos,
think you really have
right?
purple, you have violet.
No, there are gonna be a lot of weirdos. Because you know
have
what?
violet, not purple.
The problem is that there's, anime have like eye colors of all of the whole rainbow. So one dude's gonna be like, oh damn, I've been watching Sora
Teal.
online, so I want red eyes on this one.
I don't watch anime, so.
Well, it's just a weirdo. It's just
Yeah.
anime.
No, they could definitely.
And then the
be-
doctor-
You mean a weeb?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, no, but not even a weeb. But like with that idea, you can change any color. So that you get what I'm saying? Like you could be like, what color do you want? Oh yeah, I want magenta. And it's kind of like what?
Magenta,
Fucking
what's magenta?
Magenta's like a
I
pinkish
think it's a
Okay.
pink.
thing. I don't know. Don't fucking hang me.
And
if I'm
then
wrong,
once
but
you go to the eye color, next thing it's like, yo, how big do you want the calves? And it's like, wait, hold up.
how big do you want the
I don't think you
penis?
go how big do you want the calf. I think they ask you how tall you want the child to be.
No,
Or do you want him to
calf
be
size
like?
should be if you're gonna okay.
I don't think
say-
you can determine calf size.
I
Say
don't think
theoretically this was a full-on
Calf
thing.
size can't be determined. That's all determined by how much the child exercises.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I want
What you
pre-built
could
calves.
do is make the child more
Dick.
prone to gaining
Have a
muscle.
predisposition
A
for
predisposition for
muscular
gaining
growth
muscle.
or whatever.
Yeah. Which a lot of African American people have.
Okay.
Well, it's true.
I mean,
A lot
I'm
of
not,
African American people
I'm not
don't
even
have to
gonna
work
touch
out
that.
too much compared to other races to gain muscle.
All right.
No.
Okay, now what do you guys think? And this is a morbid turn, I guess. What do you think of growing kids?
In test
Right?
tubes?
Well, not quite, but like making them the best genetically, like just amazing, But then, I don't know. I'm just spitballing. And I'm not saying I agree with this. I'm just throwing the topic out there. From the minute they're born, you induce them into a coma and then you farm them for organs.
No.
I
Dude,
would.
what the fuck did
I heard about that stuff though. It would be that's where cloning comes in a lot too.
Cloning's a pain in the ass too, though.
Exactly, yeah, but it's
We
a
also
whole
have
other
Star
topic.
Wars.
But it's that idea of creating another human to again harvest his organs. That's again a slippery slope because then you're creating the second class of humans. So what I would do is rather grow organs in animals, which.
Dude, but imagine having an organ from a pig.
You can already have a pig heart.
Fuck that.
Wait, why?
Because then you're part pig. And I'll look at you and be like, pinche puerco, like.
But you're not dead because you have a heart.
I'd look down on you.
Think of all the people that are waiting on the list for heart transplants.
I mean, pig
hearts
transplants
are the same as ours?
No, not the same, but they're really close.
They're not the same. They're very
close.
So to the point where they have successfully transplanted pig organs, heart.
A lot of people have pig stuff.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have 4 chambers just like the human.
Oink oink,
They're
bitch.
very similar. Us and pigs are like physically the most similar.
Excuse me.
I mean, I don't look at the mirror.
Physically, when I say physically, I mean like our skin texture and all that is very similar. A lot of tattoo artists practice on pigs.
What the fuck?
It's the closest to human skin.
There's an inked up pig out there?
Normally they're dead, but sometimes they're inked up pigs. That's kind of animal abuse, but
yeah, unless he wants to be tatted.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't. Have you seen the movie Pets?
No.
Okay.
There's a tatted up pig, and the chameleon in that movie throws up the blood sign.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I never really thought about that.
We're very similar to pigs.
You are.
Okay.
Your heart and skin, and I can't for 100% sure say the rest of your organs.
No, I mean, yeah, they're close.
Oh, wait. Okay, so hold up. Let me check it. So I was doing research.
Oh, is he?
And there's this kid that was born in August 29th, 2000. His name is Adam Nash.
Well, you just
what a shitty name.
And the thing that's special about him is that he's called the savior sibling because he was the first kid to be conceived using pre-implantation genetic diagnosis.
PGD.
Or PGD, which is pretty much that they chose what they wanted before they implanted.
How far did what did they choose?
Adam Nash.
That's the name.
What did they choose though? Again, did they choose his height or did they just make sure he was healthy?
He was born to make sure that his sister would live. They used his organs.
Yeah, so he could donate
Wait,
cord blood to his sister Molly, who was born with Fanconi anemia and be free of the disease himself. So he was conceived to help Molly be born.
But did it affect him negatively?
No.
Then that's cool. I don't see what's wrong.
Yeah, but
isn't that crazy?
Here's the thing, though. He didn't have. Oh shit.
He didn't have the option. He didn't have a decision.
Yeah, which I wouldn't say.
No.
Then that's just another child.
Yeah.
Nobody chooses to be brought in.
Wait. I'm not trying. No. Let's not debate the ethics of it. Let's just talk about
how crazy that is.
How crazy that is.
Yeah.
This kid was conceived with pre-implanted genetic diagnosis to save another life. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And throughout the whole evolution of science, that's crazy because now if you were to check through what do you call it, X-rays of babies, is there a certain ultrasounds through ultrasounds, if you see something wrong with your child, you can possibly use another child that
Normally
you can
don't do it through ultrasound, but okay.
You don't get what I'm saying though. It's but eventually through research and development.
Once the child, if you can see something that's very wrong with a child through an ultrasound, that means it's already super late in the birth and it's coming out in the next 2 months.
Okay.
And by then it could come out premature.
Okay, by then you're fucked. Yeah. Facts.
That's why most of the time it's genetic. But now that they are starting to do genetic testing on children now, and they use a big needle and they go into the woman's belly button and take DNA out of the child and test it and make sure it's okay. This is again very early in a natural birth. So my mom almost did it for my 2 little brothers. She was thinking of it, but she didn't do it because the chances of, again, this was, I'd say 9 years ago. 9 years ago, they were already doing this, going in and taking DNA and making sure everything was good. Again, we can't check for autism or Down syndrome or anything right now, but just checking Not yet, but just checking to see if it was a healthy child in terms of
genetic defects.
Genetic defects are big genetic defects. Genetic defects like a weak heart or stuff like that. But back 9 years ago, the risk was crazy high of the woman accidentally getting an infection, the child ending up a miscarriage. So
That's
she
crazy.
didn't do it, but yeah.
But the one thing about Adam Nash is that he's considered to be the first designer baby. So this is...
But
So
see,
how old is the kid now?
He's now 17 years old.
Oh, fuck.
he's
Did he know?
alive.
Yeah, you must know.
I think being born for this reason, with the media on it, I think he grew up knowing that pretty early on.
I don't think it'd really affect him like that much, though.
I mean, I could see him
'Cause
getting bullied. Like, yeah, because of your sister. Ah, stop it, please.
Well, the funny thing is, the kid was born. He's already done more than most of those kids that are bullying.
Yeah,
No,
he
but I'd be
didn't-
like,
he didn't
designer
do
baby
shit.
looking ass. Just jump the guy
But see,
in the playground.
They
Like,
didn't decide what he's gonna look like. They're just like, oh, his blood type is similar. Get that one, you know?
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Like, if he was
Do you guys
like,
know what blood type you guys are?
A positive.
I have no clue.
Cool.
No,
Only one of us knows.
I
Is
don't
A
know.
positive? Isn't that one really hard to
That,
donate
no,
blood?
I don't fucking know. I'm not planning on bleeding anytime soon.
we
Well,
can't say
nobody
the
ever
same for
plans
Adam
on
Nash.
bleeding until they need a blood transplant.
I should have done it.
Okay, well, okay, but now that we talked about like just like the amazing
Learned a little bit about blood
process
types
of
and
Adam Nash, what do you guys think about? Should the parents have done that? Would you guys do that?
I think that was okay.
That was okay.
I mean, to save the other child, and they're not like negatively impacting him at all.
I
They're just,
think
like-
it's fine as long as they're willing to take care of a second child. I don't want this to be like, oh yeah, this is just Molly 0.5
And then
to
give
help
him up.
real Molly, and then just throw him
Very
to the side or
positive?
something.
Yeah,
You can only get blood from O and A people.
tight.
Dope. Okay, Vic. But yeah, no, you get what I'm saying, Vic?
Yeah.
Like, if you're willing to take care of the second child, if you're willing to give just as much love as you are to the person, even though they, you know, like, with that all aside, you know, I believe that once a child's born, you should be willing to take care of it just as well as you would take care of the other children.
Yeah,
I'm
of
pretty
course.
sure that was never even in question.
I mean, but
I
there's-
feel like the only thing that happened there was, are you going to plan on having another child? Probably. Well, then we better get to it now.
well, this one's still
Well,
alive.
this one's still alive to hopefully save this one. And in the process, make sure the second one can help the first one.
Yeah,
So I don't
I
think
see
it
nothing
was-
wrong with this
I don't think
situation.
it was
I don't
like,
see something wrong
I
with
don't
it.
want a second child, so I'm going to hate him its whole life. I only want him to save the first one.
Well, it's just, you don't know. Some people might walk in and be like, yo, I want to do whatever it takes to save the first child. Yeah,
And the second one, throw him in
I'll
the
have a
garbage.
second one. I'll have a second one, yeah.
Throw him in the garbage, basically, is put him up for adoption in this country.
I'd rather be put up for adoption than thrown in the garbage.
Well, yeah, but our I don't know if you know how good our...
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, our... what's it called? The...
Our adoption
Oh, it's not adoption.
program, foster care.
Foster care, there you go.
Yeah.
Foster care is horrible in this country.
It all depends on who you get to,
Yeah.
because if you get like someone who's like, it's time to whip you. I got home from work. Like, yeah, that's.
Well,
gonna
aside from
suck.
that, just the amount of children in foster care and the amount of people willing to try to foster children, there's even before trying to get people to adopt children. Just sad.
Yeah.
And the second they turn 18, they get booted. Doesn't matter if you have somewhere to go afterwards.
Heavy.
Yeah, it really is.
I feel that. Okay, back to designer babies. The one thing that we can agree on are the pros of it, which are pretty
No
much
Down syndrome.
couples who can't conceive
Oh,
kids
okay.
normally
No
are finally
Down
able to.
syndrome.
What the? Wait, what?
Have you guys
I'm just
seen the
saying.
video?
I'm terrified of having a kid
Whoa.
with like Down syndrome.
I am too.
Wait.
Well, I'd rather have a child with Down syndrome than a child that is even worse off.
Like,
You know, there's those children that are like completely physically crippled,
yeah, like quadriplegics.
kind of. But then there's some that are even that plus Down syndrome.
Oh no!
Yeah, they're like completely in the chair,
Damn.
just chilling.
And you can't fence like that.
Yeah, you can't.
At that
Well-
point, they might look at you
Well,
and
I
tell
mean,
you-
Down syndrome too. Again, it's like autism. There's a whole.
There's a spectrum.
Spectrum.
Yeah, but I'd say
Yeah.
I'd rather be autistic than Down syndrome.
Obviously, you're better off that way. But then, a high functioning Down syndrome person, which there are,
There's like a
it's
low
spectrum,
functioning autist.
and a low functioning autist. You might be better off being a high functioning Down syndrome.
No, I don't
child.
think so.
than a low functioning Down syndrome or autistic child.
I don't know. I'd rather have autism. No disrespect to our autistic viewers.
My mother's friend. My mother's.
Bro, your mother.
My mother's friend's friend. I know. It sounds really weird. She has a low functioning autistic child. He is now 19 or something, and the child is 6'4", and weighs 300 pounds and wears diapers.
What does this have to do with me?
Would you really rather have a low functioning Down syndrome child or autistic child?
I think I don't want my kid to have a mental disability.
I think we're all.
Nobody
I think we
does.
are off topic. I don't want to hear any more about your mother.
Okay, well, back to what I was talking about. The pros are couples who can't conceive children normally are finally able to. Right? That's cool. Awesome.
But you can also do that with like. Well, see, no, because if your sperm is infertile, you're just fucked, and you just have to get a donor anyways. So that doesn't really affect it. Because if you're infertile, you're infertile.
But
wait. But I do know that designer babies, they can take DNA from the father and kind of just splice the mothers and the fathers together, and you don't need that sperm at all.
Oh, that's right, because you fertilize it in the lab.
But it does raise an issue for I would say that this would affect the adoption and foster care.
Oh, completely.
Why?
Because in a normal situation,
not even that.
Those people, if they're really set on having a child and they can't, they'll probably adopt.
Yeah, because this is the thing.
You're taking away the possibility of a child or multiple children being adopted instead of these people.
And that is wrong. That's not wrong, but
it's different.
It's sad, but also I feel but I feel that there's something to be said for having a kid that's like yours. And I would understand why some couples would go that route, because it's like, man, I want this like to be ours, like us.
Right,
and that sucks for the foster care people.
I don't get that though.
Well,
I feel like I don't really. At the end of the day, I feel like even if you had one child like that and then you had an adopted child, I get how some people would be like, well, you'll always love your blood child more.
I don't think you would.
I don't think I would. I think you just
special.
love them both equal.
Because if you were to go to Subway, building your sandwich. No. This is real.
Building your sandwich and then
building your
when you're at the checkout line, they tell you, we got this leftover sandwich. You want it?
No. It's not that. Building your sandwich will always be more special than having someone bring you their sandwich.
Or having one off the menu.
I don't want it.
It's like you take a few bites, you're like, damn, it was shit here.
Right? Like, it's a good sandwich.
But when you finish eating both of them, aren't you equally satisfied?
No.
It depends.
It depends on the flavor.
It depends.
I poured more carrots in mine.
If you build your
put
sandwich...
carrots in your sandwich?
I said I put more care into mine.
Oh, I heard carrots on it.
Because if you build your sandwich, you know exactly what's in it. You probably have an idea what it tastes like, and when you eat it, you're satisfied. Versus someone brings you a sandwich. Sure, it tastes good, but at the end of the day, will it be exactly what you really wanted versus you just trying to make your own sandwich?
It'll probably have,
simplifying it too much.
It would probably have like a shitty olive in there or something.
I don't think it's that simple.
Okay, I don't know.
I think sandwiches are children.
Sandwich making is a very complex situation, and I think you're undermining it because taking care of my child. They're actually called
sandwich artists, aren't they?
They're artisans.
Sandwich connoisseurs.
Artisans.
Fucker, the connoisseurs.
They're artisans. Gus is
an artisan.
Is a sandwich artisan. It's the title Subway gives you.
Cool. Well, I mean, you could get anything with a minimum wage. But here's what I'm saying. For me, I take care of my child the way I would take care of my sandwich. Because sandwiches, for me, I'm a sandwich guy, right? I'm a sandwich guy. I love sandwiches. So for me, it's kind of like, I kind of want to make my sandwich. And I could see that with like, I could see why a lot of couples would rather build their own child at Build-A-Bear Workshop. They'd rather go to Build-A-Bear Workshop than go to Toys R Us and pick up some random ass stuff.
You don't get to fuck if you get a foster kid.
No, you don't get a fuck if you're infertile too.
Well, if you're infertile, you get to fuck as much as you want. And not have to worry about it.
Yeah, you gotta fuck it up. But that's not what I'm saying. It's like you can't. But you're saying that like you can still do that, but like
it's not the same.
You can still do that, but you can't expect a baby at the end of it.
Yeah, and I guess I wouldn't know.
No, but I would say
there is something to be said for having sex to procreate, probably.
No, but I'm agreeing with you that I can see why a lot of couples would rather want to build their own child and make their own child through any means necessary and have their own child versus going to an adoption center. Which this is why I would say it would affect the adoption and foster care like idea and system a lot. That's what I'm trying to say.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What if they did something though? What if to those people, since they are turning down the option to adopt a child, must then tax somewhat and contribute more to not more taxes, but more tax, but it doesn't go to everything. It goes specifically to
why are they being
foster care.
taxed?
Because they just denied possibly adopting.
Yeah,
a child.
but you shouldn't be taxed for that. Just because you want your own kid.
Why not? Because you are denying a child a possible home.
Fuck it, but I want my own kid.
Yeah, nobody said you can't.
Yeah, but why am I being punished? Why am I being punished for it?
What do you mean not punished?
He's saying that if I say I don't want a foster kid, I want to impregnate my wife and then have that child, that I should be taxed more heavily.
You're not impregnate your wife. Because you're not impregnate. You have to go through other means to go do it. You're going above and beyond impregnating your wife.
Well, because
you can't, buddy boy.
You want.
Well, okay. Number one, I'm pretty sure that this whole designer baby thing is going to be expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right?
So
it's going to
if
be
you're
super
already
expensive.
at that point,
so I'm pretty sure
you
you will consider adopting.
Exactly.
If you think it will
and
be a
if
better
you're
method.
already going to buying something this expensive, is something like that a little more.
What if you want the experience of raising them from birth?
You can
still do that with adoption.
I don't know. For me, there's something to be said for having a kid that is you and your wife.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can see a lot of couples.
Yeah, I can see
that.
most couples going like that.
But this is what I'm saying though, is that with designer babies, with the cost being so high, I'm pretty sure they're like the couple will eventually have that conversation on, is the money worth it, or do you think we can have just as much joy and just and be just as satisfied adopting? Because the adoption process will also be,
if you're rich enough to afford it and like have it not be a big thing, you'll probably do it.
What's wrong with a little more money kicked to the foster care
because
system?
You shouldn't be punished for choosing to have
no, I don't think that should happen. But I'm pretty sure that if you're able to afford it, that's already like how much % of the population. I'm talking about the middle class or like us.
This is probably not be available to us.
This won't be middle class. This will be upper middle class.
Right. So then I'm saying is that like I don't
specifically designing things like hair and stuff.
Right. No.
Because that's superficial. That should cost.
But what I'm saying is that even though the adoption and foster care system is going to be impacted, I don't think it's going to be that much to where we have to tax them. It's just going to be a little bit more. It's just going to be less adoption and less foster care. But I think there will still be that going on just because of the cost. And just because there's a point where you're like, you know what? There's always that part where you just go to a foster care or you always go to adoption center and you always just fall for that one kid. So there's always going to be situations where there will be adoptions and foster care going on. I'm just saying it will be impacted because with designer babies, there's that question on, do you really want to invest this much money into having that child, or would you rather be just as
That's an expensive kid.
Yeah, that is. Right? So yeah. Okay, okay. So
well, I mean, that was an interesting talk. Where'd we go?
we're done?
Yeah, I mean, right? That's about it. We don't want it to run